Hello, Lindsay Dawn. It's so good to see you on this Thursday, February 20th already. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing great. Just enjoying some beautiful sacred geometry of the snow and frigid temperatures, keeping us
Yeah.
indoors a little bit more than normal.
Isn't that fascinating that there's not two snowflakes alike and then you have piles and piles of it? So it's like millions and millions of sacred geometry coming and bringing that vibration in to your area.
Yeah, what was fascinating is it was predicted to actually get almost a foot, and we only got, I don't even think we got 2 inches. But the flakes were these tiny, tiny little snowflakes. So it's like if those would have been bigger, it would have been probably a foot, but they were these little tiny, beautiful, small snowflakes. And so it was just kind of fascinating how diverse the size and even the texture of those snowflakes can be.
Yes, yes. And in this time of very high transformation, things pulling apart, old systems coming apart, one of the things that the guides were saying is focus on the beauty around you and the nature beauty. So even in snowstorms, and we had floods last week here, there is a beauty in how the floods and the mudslide changed the landscape. And so we're constantly looking at that recreating or re-establishing a connection with a new landscape too.
Right.
So that was really coming through. But we wanted to remind our viewers today that the reason we come together on Thursday each week is that on the galactic calendar, which is a 28-day lunar calendar that has beautiful energy and frequency of glyphs and tones that both Lindsay and I are learning as a tool for regulation of our soul consciousness and our soul wisdom. On Thursdays, which ends a week on the global calendar, it is the Global Rainbow Bridge Activation Day, which is the heart chakra. So each day has a focus on one of the chakras. And on Thursday, it's the heart chakra. And the purpose of this day of coming together and doing a heart coherence and a transmission is that we are taking time out to visualize a rainbow around the earth that is created from the heart. And I love that. And I really tapped in a little bit deeper to that today because we want to energize you to create that vision from your heart to connect with that rainbow around the globe that we know we can make a difference in contributing to. Many people right now are saying, "What can I do? What can I how can I be of service with everything's breaking apart and changing so rapidly?" And sometimes it's a very simple day of the week, 15 minutes of time of that week, and really feeling and sensing, tapping into this beautiful rainbow energy that millions, well, probably millions of people are doing that are following this galactic calendar, I'm sure. So Lindsay is our heart coherence specialist in the inner leader movement. She does amazing heart meditations and focuses on that and is evolving in her work, even through hypnotherapy and some other things that add to that heart coherent field, out of mind or through the breath. And so we always start with a heart coherence, and then I'll just receive messages that come through in our different channels, what we call the Cosmic Collective, which is a group of angels, galactical beings, ascended masters, ancestors, spirit guides, spiritual advisors, teachers, mentors that are in light. It's a whole collective. And even though Lindsay and I have a special soul design to connect with angels. That's just one of our gifts that we came here to Earth to help others learn how to connect with angels and communicate with angels because they're amazing. And they are working overtime right now to assist us. So that's one of the other things that Lindsay and I have in common, as well as being certified in heart math into the science of heart coherence. And then we have alchemized all of our gifts together in the inner leader movement and doing this work together in both of our businesses. So that's kind of a quick overview and a brief summary of why we feel it's so important to come together on a Thursday to give you a opportunity to connect in with this global activation rainbow heart chakra day.
Yeah, and if I may, when I first started doing heart coherence and when I was introduced to it, it was so life-changing for me. There's a lot of us that study that have a tendency towards anxiety,
Mm,
depression, may have trauma, addictions. We all have these life lessons, life journeys that we're moving through, these stories. And coherence really reminds us to get out of this busy mind and to come down to the heart. And so, especially with anxiety, or when we are a person that has a lot of flow of information that's coming in,
yeah, me too.
it's so important to come back down here and bring that breath, the power of the breath, and just even focusing on the breath, if nothing else, bringing that fullness in, because often we breathe so shallow.
Mhm.
um, we really aren't getting a lot of that oxygen, that beautiful gift of life that we have been given through our body. And so I just wanted to briefly say that because it's so important to recognize that this is for everybody. It turns off cortisol in the body. It
Mhm.
allows the body to go into this healing mode and really brings a lot of peace and calm that lasts for hours. It's
Mhm.
very effective. And
Yeah.
so there's many parts to this, but just felt important to remind people of the power of coherence and what we're doing, to really get our body, our heart, and our mind aligned to really receive or to send out the energy that we're connecting with.
Beautiful. I'm so glad that you brought that forth. You reminded me of when I moved to California in 1986. I was looking for a holistic doctor. I didn't want to go to the regular medical system back in 1986, and I found an amazing practitioner from South Africa. And she would always say to me, your culture here in America is so different. You all don't know how to breathe.
Mm.
You are the most shallow breathers I've ever worked with. Because did a lot of her work in India and in Europe and that part of the world, and then came to America to bring her practice to America. And she's like, "You all don't know how to breathe here. Just slow
Yeah.
down and breathe. It's such an important part of your overall health." And that was back in 1986. I'll never forget that lesson, because that was where I started focusing on my breath. And we just don't. We take it so for granted, and it's such a beautiful activator of so many different aspects of our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical
Mm.
part of being human. Okay, Lindsay, take
All
us into a
right.
coherent field.
All right. Go ahead and get comfortable. I invite you to just either place both your feet on the floor in the seated position, or you can do this lying down. Just don't shut your eyes if you're driving a car or operating heavy machinery while listening to this. And you can go ahead and shut your eyes and just begin to tune into the breath as we have removed this outward connection by shutting the eyes and really focusing on the breath, bringing the breath and breathing a little deeper and deeper into the belly. On each inhale, as we bring our hand to our heart, we focus on what we're bringing in, that we're filling our hearts with today. And on the exhale, just releasing any tension, spots, any resistance in the body. As you bring the fullness of the breath in to renew and to fill, and the exhale to deepen, to allow. And as you continue breathing in through the heart, connecting with that thing, that person, place, a thing or event that makes you feel appreciation in this moment. You may have one or you may have multiple things that come through that you feel gratitude or appreciation for in your heart. Just allow those to appear in your field. And on the in-breath, just drawing that beautiful emotion, that feeling of the gratitude into the heart. And with each breath in, seeing this beautiful stream of color, this rainbow light color that is flowing in to the heart and flowing down from source, creator energy. Being that column of rainbow light from the highest source energy. Flow in through your crown and gently, just what your body needs, requires in this now moment. Allow it to flow down, harmonizing each of your chakra centers. Seeing it connecting with the heart and this beautiful gratitude, coherent field that we're creating. And flowing down into our lower chakras, connecting down below us into the earth. As we're anchoring this light in each of our locations around the world. And today I just ask you to set an intention, an energy, a word that comes to you, a coherent energy that you would like to put into the rainbow light field. Allowing yourself to feel this word. Gifting this energy to the earth for the highest benefit of all. Being this beautiful energy, bringing ourselves back to our auric field. Go ahead and drop your hands to your lap. Just noticing the sensations, the colors that are surrounding you in your field at this moment. Seeing this energetic field surrounded by the blue, beautiful blue protective light. How nurturing that this energy feels. Bringing your attention back to your breath and just noticing how deeply that you're breathing now. Are you breathing with more fullness than before you began? As we begin to awaken, just gently beginning to bring our attention to our more outward senses. We continue to breathe, breathing in more deeply and exhaling and allowing a sigh sound to vibrate from us that feels right. And gently moving the neck, the head, and if and when you're ready, you may open your eyes as Lisa tunes into the beautiful message today.
Wow, Lindsay, that was amazing. I haven't been able to see colors lately when I've closed my eyes. I usually see lots of colors when I'm meditating. And today, that beautiful blue green hue came through. I was in some of the violet hues too, as you were taking us through that. And what the guides were saying during this meditation is that the rainbow light has so much power to it, as it's an alchemization of all the colors coming together and has a power to it. And what they were saying is throughout today, if you could look at the beauty in things and see the rainbow light in a flower, in a tree, in a walk that you take, in some of the beautiful objects you have around your home, crystals, or even plants, just really visualize their rainbow light because we're all connected with this beautiful energy of light. And I really thought that was really interesting because a lot of times they'll ask us to focus on our chakras, radiating out that rainbow light from each of the chakras. But today they were saying connect with the rainbow light of all nature, spirit beings, or objects that have that beautiful energy that you connect to. That what resonates and harmonizes with you as you look at an object and really sense and feel the rainbow light coming from you and exchanging with that object or plant or tree or flower or pet. So many ways that we can alchemize beauty of rainbow light into our life that will settle our nervous system, that will reduce that cortisol production because we're coming into even a deeper calm and coherent state when we start to see this in other objects and parts of nature that Mother Gaia gives us. So they were really focusing on our connection with rainbow light um, in other objects and nature and people. And even a couple of people that I'm going to be dealing with today, they were saying just visualize the rainbow light aura all around them because they're not necessarily they're kind of challenging individuals that I will be working or having interactions with today. And they're like, visualize that rainbow halo around you and around them and allow the flow state to come through. So that was the message for today.
Wow, that's really powerful. And it like as you see things through those eyes, it's such a beautiful connection to joy
Mhm. Yeah.
because when you can see things that may seem ordinary, if you really start looking at the detail of people, of things, you realize the miracle in its presence,
Yeah.
even seeing it, right? And how you can transform those more difficult things to see the sweetness of what that is even showing you, what things come through after you have that encounter and you have that rainbow light around those people and yourself, right?
Yeah. And you just brought up a really, um, one of the universal truths that we work with is joy. The angels, our guides, constantly say you came here to not only create joy, but to connect with joyful activators.
Yeah.
And so joy is one of the universal principles of what we came here to either create or to communicate with or to connect with. And, it's just that changes the whole energy field also when even when you're feeling anxious or depressed or worried or even frightened, bringing that joy in as an anchor can really help. I always look at it as like a kind of a siphon. It just kind of those other feelings into disillusion. So thank you for bringing that up because that's really one of the key principles of what they want us to really connect, to create and connect with is joy.
Yeah. Yeah, we were meant for joy.
We're designed our souls are designed to be joyful.
And it reminds
So
us to really focus, with what we were where we were going and where we were brought to with this joy is it reminds us that where our attention goes is really important for
yeah.
our focus, right? So when you can focus on the little things, if you think about it, when you're looking at an object and you're seeing it, you're also giving gratitude for seeing that, right? You recognize
Hmm.
it's been seen. And so many times in life, things just want to be seen.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lindsay. And thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in today. And please leave us a comment on how these meditations and transmissions of messages are affecting your life or how you're connecting with them. We would love to hear from you also. And we'll put both of our websites in the link or in the description below, the links to them. And we just look forward to hearing from you. So have a beautiful day ahead and week ahead, and we'll see you next Thursday. Namaste.
Love.